setting boundaries within that actually set you free. I love this message that I'm about to share because this tweak, if you will, this adjustment that I made within has done so much for my life to keep me lifted, level. I've shared it with many clients. I've shared it with many audiences. And I want you to get some quiet time today and really think about just implementing this particular life lifting strategy immediately. So I was having lunch with a friend yesterday, and I had shared some information with her, and her eyes got big, and she became just worried. And she looked at me, she's like, "Why aren't you how are you so calm about this? Why aren't you more excited or worked up?" And I looked at her and I said, "You know what? I'm not permitted to get excited about stuff like this and worry myself. I'm just not permitted." And she was very perplexed. She's like, "What do you mean you're not permitted?" I said, I'm not permitted. She said, "You can do whatever you want to do." I said, "That's exactly right. I don't give myself permission to get worked up about stuff like this. I don't want an early heart attack. So therefore, that's the key I want you to zero in on. When you set up your computer, you can go in to your panel and adjust accordingly. There's rules and settings. You can tell the computer what to do. You can tell the computer how to filter your email. You can tell the computer what software to display, what software to run in the backdrop. So everything goes back to permission. We're talking about boundary setting. See, we always talk about setting boundaries with other people, which is great. I love it. I'm all for it. I've made some videos about it. I'm talking about setting internal boundaries within yourself and setting them with purpose and setting them in such a way that you're going to respect them. Let me share with you some of the rules settings that I have provided myself with. Some of the things that I'm not permitted to do. As I said, I'm not permitted to get worked up about nonsense, because when I get worked up, I can't think clearly. I am not permitted to be depressed for more than 24 hours in any 30-day period. I sat down with myself one day and I'm like, you know what? You're not permitted to do this for more than 24 hours. And I promise you, for the last 15 years, I just bump up against that boundary. And it's like, no, it is iron. It's ironclad, because I set that rule and the rules get respected. So I'm not going to say that I don't get down, but whatever it is, I have to work through that within 24 hours, because I cannot afford to lose. I can't really afford to lose that time, but I certainly can't afford to lose more than 24 hours on something that is stopping my work, reducing the quality of my life. So again, and I am not permitted to voluntarily entertain toxic people. I am not permitted to do that. And that is an internal setting, an internal rule that I set for myself. And the key when you're making your rules, I like to match visuals with a lot of the things that I do because it's so powerful. I want you to, as you're creating your rule, to imagine this iron. It's an iron bar that literally, and I'm talking about horizontally, it serves as a barrier between you and a particular behavior, you and a particular habit. It's like, I'm not permitted to do that. And it's so much stronger. See, we think the rules and regulations that other people set for us are stronger. They're not. It's so much stronger when it comes from you internally, because it comes from, as they say, the inside out. things that come from the outside in are not as strong. But when you set that bar and that parameter internally, wow, and you visualize and just see that barrier between you and this particular thing, person, habit, it works. I'm telling you, this stuff that I'm sharing with you, it works. It works if you work it. So again, my challenge and my assignment to you is to sit quietly, and I want you to, if you have these internal rules set, perfect, revisit them. If you don't, start out with a couple of internal rules and see where that takes you. Thanks so much. This has been Inspirational Shorts with Sheila. I'll connect with you soon.